Apparently, 'tis the season to be petty. Drake is back with new music, and in his music, he's decided to take a swipe at the husband of one of his exes. So, in case you've been living under a rock, Drake released a new song called Middle of the Ocean. And in the song, he references Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband, calling Alexis a groupie. Now, for starters, this is kind of rich because, Drake dated Serena for a year or two back in 2015, 2016, I believe. And during that time, he was constantly showing up at Serena's matches. So the whole groupie thing is kind of pot calling the kettle black. But Alexis did respond to this with his own post on Instagram where he plugs his latest business venture, but he also talks about finding in Serena a partner that he could never outgrow. And then he also says that one of the reasons why he stays winning is because he is committed to being the best at everything that he does, including being a groupie for Serena and for their daughter, who is Alexis Jr. I do think this whole story with Drake is a great example of a particular type of men. There's a certain group of men who they are accustomed to receiving from women, but not from giving. There's a group of men who need attention. They need others to notice that they're with a beautiful, talented, high value woman. And you definitely see this in Drake. He is the type of man who always needs to have a woman around. He's been involved in a lot of high profile relationships. Serena Williams, he had a thing with Rihanna for years, and he was also involved with Nicki Minaj for a little while. These type of men, while they need to have women around, they don't do very well at reciprocating that energy. They are takers, not givers. They are the type to expect a woman to constantly build them up to make them look good. But then by the same token, they will put that woman down. They will drag the relationship on forever and ever without committing. They will allow themselves to, get in entanglements with other people, to disrespect the woman that they're with in many different ways. But then when that woman has the nerve, the audacity to move on, then all hell breaks loose. And you see this. Drake has a history of calling out women that he's dated in the past in his lyrics. He also has a history of pining after women long after a relationship has ended. Rihanna's probably the best example of that, but as we see in the song, apparently he still hasn't gotten over Serena Williams as well. In the Men with Podcast community, you will hear a lot of talk about women hitting the wall and how after a certain age, these women are no longer as valuable, or these women won't be able to find great men because they've gotten older or because they've had kids or they're run through, they've had so many partners, and that they need to settle because otherwise they'll die alone. What these men are doing is projecting. Oftentimes, it is men who end up hitting an emotional wall at a certain point. They've been through a certain number of relationships. They end up being single for a while. They see the women that they were dating moving on, being happy, being healthy, being married. You see Serena's married, Nicki Minaj is now married, Rihanna has a child, and she's in her relationship with ASAP Rocky. So they see these women moving on to bigger and better things, to new lives, to starting new chapters, and they are still stuck in their childish, continuing to take mode. As a woman, here's what you need to know when you encounter men like this. So before you go into a relationship, you want to have clarity about what it is that you want. And I mean that in two ways. Do you want to be in a serious relationship? Are you dating for marriage? Are you dating with the intention of finding someone you can be exclusive with? And whatever it is that you want, don't allow yourself to settle for anything different. You also need to know what your boundaries and standards are in a relationship. You need to be confident in communicating those boundaries and those standards. And again, not accepting any less than that. then you also need to have belief in yourself. So it comes to understanding that you are worthy of your desires. You know, I don't believe that God is a tease. So when there are desires in our hearts to have a loving, healthy relationship, that desire isn't there for no reason whatsoever. If that's what you want, that is what you deserve. And that is what you shouldn't be looking for and expecting to get. You also have to believe what a potential partner is telling you and showing you. If someone says they're not looking for commitment, or if someone says they don't want to label relationships, they just want to take their time and see how it goes. If you're looking for a committed, exclusive relationship, then this person is not the person for you. If someone is showing you in their actions that they can't reciprocate, if you're the one putting more effort into the relationship, then that man is either A, just not that into you, or B, he doesn't know how to do that. He hasn't done that work. And frankly, that's not your problem. You are not an emotional rehab for broken people. So let me know in the comments, have you ever been in a relationship like this where you were constantly giving and trying to build a relationship up and nurture a person, but that love and energy was not being reciprocated? And what did you do? How long did it take you to make the decision to leave that relationship? And as always, make sure that you check out one of these two videos that YouTube has recommended and thinks that you'll enjoy. And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for my next video. Love you so much. Talk to you soon.